Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, didn't I watch this video on the main channel? Why are you posting it here now? I figured it'd be easier to keep all the Nerdcore stuff on one specific channel as opposed to having everything kind of mixed up. I really want my main Rytchiee channel to be delegated to my overall lore and the RoboRebellion Studios animations and stuff. Since I'll be making Nerdcore music and Nerdcore songs, I want also the Nerdcore animation breakdowns on here as well. So whenever I work for Cam Steady or Fresh Canal or Eddie FRB, if I do any kind of like breakdown, it would be on here instead. Sound cool? Alright, if you haven't seen this, well, buckle up. Hi, my name is Rytchiee, and I am the creator of the Bleed For Me music video. Honestly, Cam reached out to me around November, December, a little after I filmed him for a video for Fresh Canal. I was the cinematographer of that Fresh Canal's video. Which, by the way, off topic, just a fun tangent. One of the greatest experiences of my life. It's one thing to go to school and have a bachelor's degree in film, but it's a whole other thing to use the exact same cameras that the professionals use and know exactly what to do with it. It's nice. After that, we had a conversation and we were talking about how he wanted me to make an animation on Sonic.exe. The problem that I have, especially with the other animations I've done, like Eric Cartman vs. Charlie Brown, or Blue vs. Monokuma, Kirby vs. a Very Hungry Caterpillar, for the analogy I'm trying to come across. I have the tendencies of replicating the art style as closely as possible. You see that I'm studying the animations and I'm watching frame by frame when it comes to getting those to the T. However, in this case, this was the first time that I was able to just take creative liberties and do it myself. And do my style, but also making it as close to Sonic as much as possible. There was just some fun things I just wanted to mention. I remember when we were talking, me and Cam, in call, we had a conversation about how we wanted to get the this music video. Because he told me he didn't want like a complete narrative, and he wanted a bunch of cool shots after cool shots after cool shots. But he wanted to focus entirely on the original Sonic.exe, but it's the one that the original like gameplays of Markiplier were in. But as I was talking to him and adding my own directorial input, because he wanted me to be as creatively free as possible when making this, I told him Sonic.exe is one of those things that if I just referenced the only the beginning, not saying that it would do bad, it's just that it wouldn't do up to the standards that I want to do, that I do. I told him we should go above and beyond. The goal for this Sonic.exe music video is to put as many references to every Sonic.exe character as possible. Obviously, there's so many characters out there, so I can't really put everyone in there, but I put in all the important stuff. I put all the well-known ones. One of the big things that I really wanted to showcase was EYX, and I showed Cam. I remember we had just like a quick 10-minute section of him watching EYX, and what's really baffling about it is that the original creator, and if you're familiar with Sonic.exe, you know how much of a piece of shit the original creator is. So I wanted to showcase more of just the community. Now I understand there could be some other stuff in the community that I'm not entirely familiar with. I'm just going on as someone who likes the characters but isn't part of the community. So I did a lot of research and looked up every single Sonic.exe creepypasta that I can possibly get. And one of the directorial decisions that I had, the reason why I show Tails prominently in the second verse, is because Tails is the scapegoat I'm learning from the Sonic.exe universe. There are a lot of levels where you can play as Knuckles, or you can play as Dr. Eggman. Even the original, you can see those. There are some where you can play as Sally or Amy or Cream the rabbit, but they aren't really the focus when it comes to Sonic.exe. The focus is pretty much just Tails snuff. Tails is like the primary focal point of this, but I try showcasing as many as possible but I will be clear. I am aware that just because a character is a Sonic creepypasta does not mean it's a Sonic.exe creepypasta. For example, El Pendrive Azul also predates the original Sonic.exe. But a lot more people know about the original Sonic.exe over El Pendrive Azul. Same thing with Green Mountain. I don't know if Green Mountain predates or not, but I do know Green Mountain is not necessarily its own Sonic.exe thing, but it's more of just a creepypasta. So is Majin Sonic and Fleetway Sonic. These characters aren't necessarily they're not EXE creepypastas. In fact, both of them are actual canon characters. Majin Sonic from the Sonic CD and Fleetway Sonic from the IDW comics, which, by the way, I hear are really good, but I am shit at reading. But, like, those two characters are also synonymous with the creepypasta community, so I wanted to showcase them as well. Because, spookiness, and then there's Sunky. Yeah, Sunky apparently is a creepypasta, but it's also a shitpost. It's not a creepypasta, but it is an EXE, technically. So I'm like, okay, why not? Why not? Let's put Sunky there. Why not? But like, I wanted this to be more as a love letter to Sonic.exe, the community, as opposed to the creators behind it. Which, by the way, some of the creators, beautiful artwork. But I also wanted to separate it from the Sonic characters who are created solely for Friday Night Funkin' or any of that kind of stuff, because it's not about external games, it's about specifically the Sonic community. All in all, this video took me about 3 to 4 months to make. This was a lot of fun. It's a bit daunting, and it's probably one of the creepiest things that I have made, even though it's not really that creepy, in my opinion. When I'm about to go to bed, me and my fiance are sleeping. You know when you wake up at 1 in the morning and you're just like, I need to go to the bathroom, I need to get that 1 a.m. water drink. And then I come back inside my room, and then I see just the big old EYX eyeball. But honestly, I really liked working on this project. Pretty much it. If you don't know who I am and you like this video, please feel free to subscribe to the channel and like, because I won't do these videos often, but what I usually do is I make a kind of animation breakdown where I go start to finish in the animations. I've done that with Erica. I've done that with Kirby vs. the Very Hungry Caterpillar, but I changed it, and instead I've decided to do a video like this. I am working on my own indie animation series called Animated the Series. I have made episodes 1, 2, 3, and we've recently expanded my own personal studio, RoboRebellion Studios. We've expanded it to have more artists, and we are trying to get funding for Animated the Series episode 4 specifically. So if you want to subscribe and watch the other episodes and also see where the studio is going to take episode 4, please feel free to do so. This channel is not a Nerdcore channel, nor is it a rap battle channel. This channel showcases just my creative side. Sometimes I'll be making music, sometimes I won't, but just whatever comes to mind. Bye!
When they say to walk to the light, I'll be there to guide your hand. When they say you won't be alright, I'll be there to understand. When they say